I want to tell you a story. It's an old one, but it has this incredibly sharp, really relevant lesson for anyone trying to build a career today. It all kind of boils down to a fundamental choice we all make. Are you here to build things, or are you here to find fault in things?
So, right off the bat, let's start with a question for you. Think about it honestly. In your job, in those team meetings when you're looking at a new project, which role do you naturally gravitate towards? Are you the person who's creating, designing, doing the work? Or are you the one who's analyzing, evaluating, pointing out the flaws? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we go through this. All right, here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll meet 4 brothers who represent 4 different career paths. Then we'll see the builders go up against the critic. After that comes the ultimate performance review. We'll learn a powerful lesson from an unlikely hero, and we'll wrap it all up with the critic's really important cautionary tale.
Okay, let's dive in and meet our main characters. Now, don't just think of them as guys in a story. Think of them as professional archetypes. You know, the kinds of mindsets you see in every single office. I bet you'll recognize them.
First up, we've got the pragmatist. This guy is all about tangible results. His goal is super clear, super practical. He sees a straight line from his work, making bricks, to his reward, earning a living and having a place to live. He's all about creating direct personal value. Simple as that.
The second brother, he's the visionary. He's thinking on a much bigger scale. See, he doesn't just want to build one house for himself. He wants to design the whole neighborhood. His ambition is all about public impact, legacy, and, getting that recognition, literally getting a street named after him.
And then there's brother number 3, the innovator. This one's not interested in doing what's been done before. Not at all. His entire drive is to push the envelope, to create something totally new, even if it's a huge risk. His goal is pure, unfiltered creation. And finally, we have the 4th brother, the critic, and his whole career path is just fundamentally different from the others. He straight up declares that he won't build a thing. He won't create anything. Instead, his entire professional life will be dedicated to one thing: finding the flaws in what his brothers create.
So this sets up the central conflict of the story, right? The builders versus the critic. It's a choice between 2 very different paths you can take in your career: the path of contribution or the path of condemnation.
Just look at the scoreboard here. I mean, the contrast couldn't be more stark. On one side, you've got real, tangible results. The pragmatist built his house, he even gave away some bricks to help a poor woman build hers. The visionary designed a street. The innovator, yeah, he failed, but at least he tried to build something. And then you look at the other side. The critic's entire life's work is just a list of judgments about what other people did. He produced 0. Nothing.
So years go by, as they do, and now we get to the climax of the story. Every career, in a way, eventually faces a final review. In our story, it's the gate of heaven, which is basically the ultimate no-escape performance evaluation, where you finally have to answer for your life's work.
The critic shows up, probably ready to list off all the mistakes his brothers made. But the gatekeeper cuts right through all of that with one simple, direct question. It's not, what did other people do wrong? It's not, what flaws did you find? It is, very pointedly, what have you done? So what's his answer? The critic presents his life's work, his resume of accomplishments. He proudly reports that the brickmaker was inefficient with his coal, that the engineer got too big for his britches, that his street was too grand, and that the innovator's building, well, just as he predicted, it failed. His entire value proposition is based on the failures of others.
And the verdict from the gatekeeper? It's swift and it is absolute. A whole life spent only finding fault is valued at exactly 0. See, criticism without contribution is an empty career. And in the end, there's just no place for someone who only tears things down. But right at that moment, just as the critic is being sent away, an unexpected character shows up. It's the old, poor woman who the first brother gave the bricks to. And her story, well, her story is about to completely change our understanding of what real value looks like.
What she did was just amazing. It's this incredible example of creative problem solving. She saw these kids in terrible danger on thin ice, but she was too old and frail to run out and save them herself. So what did she do? She didn't just stand there and yell about the problem. She took action. She performed this single, selfless, and incredibly creative act. She sacrificed the only thing she owned, her tiny house, by setting it on fire. The fire became an alarm that brought the whole village running to save the children.
And that's the whole point. Right there. Her one single, decisive, creative, selfless act was worth more than the critic's entire lifetime of finding fault. She added something to the world. She created a solution, and that made all the difference.
Okay, let's get to the final part of this tale. This is where the story delivers its final and maybe its most chilling warning for all of us in our careers.
So, seeing the critic turned away, the old woman, in this incredible act of grace, she actually pleads for him. And the angels agree to save him. But get this, they only agree because of her merit, because of her good deed. The irony is just staggering, isn't it? The critic is only saved because of the positive contribution of someone else, not because of anything he ever did.
And this right here, this is the line that should give you pause. Even as he's being saved, being literally carried to a salvation he did absolutely nothing to earn, the critic, he can't help himself. His lifelong habit is so ingrained that his final words are a complaint. He finds fault even in his own rescue. And it just goes to show that a critical mindset, when that's all you have, it becomes a prison that you can't even see.
So the story leaves us with a challenge. Look, it's easy to be a critic. It's easy to point out flaws and tear down what other people are trying so hard to build. Sometimes it even makes you feel smart. But at the end of your career, at the end of your life, the only question that's really going to matter is, what did you contribute? So I'll ask you, what will you build? And what are you going to leave behind?